Okay, so let us go to the BrowserStack website, and then here let us have a look at pricing. And since we are interested in automating the mobile application, we can click the App Automate option, and then here as you can see, for one parallel test the cost is around $200 per month. So this means the cost for one device is 200. And if you are going to run it on, let us say 5 devices, then you will have to go for the 5 parallel test option, and that will cost you around $1,000 per month. Okay, and it includes unlimited manual testing as well as unlimited automated testing. Okay, and then it supports multiple frameworks like APM, or let us say Espresso or XUI test, and so on. And you can test both the native and the hybrid applications. Okay, and then there is the enterprise option as well, that better suits for big organizations or the big projects. So here we are interested in the free trial, so I'm going to click on this button, and with the free trial we will have access to the real devices, 30 minutes of manual testing and 100 minutes of automated mobile app testing. And we can use the Gmail account for signing up, or we can enter the information and then sign up by clicking on this button. I have already signed up, so I'm going to skip that step. Okay, so once you sign up and log in, you will see a page similar to this one, and it will say the free plan has 100 minutes remaining. Okay, and then here if I scroll down, there is a link for documentation, so I will click on it, and it will show me the documentation for Selenium, but we need it for APM, right? So I will click developers and then documentation, then APM. From here then we will select Java, and this is the documentation that we are looking for in order to get started. So here you will have documentation for various things like how to upload the application, how to set up and run test, how to debug, how to run test in parallel, how to integrate with CI/CD tools, then the real user conditions, then the advanced features, and so on. So let us get started with the setup, and here the two important things that we need are the username and the access key. Okay, and if I scroll down, so this is the username and this is the access key. Okay, once you sign up, you can find this information over here. And for practicing, BrowserStack has got its own sample application. So this is the link for the sample Android application, and this one is for sample iOS application. And in order to upload the application to the BrowserStack repository, there are various options. We can do it manually or we can use the API. Okay, and this option uses the API. So basically it's a curl command, and we are supplying the username, the access key, this is the post API, and then this is the file path. So make sure that curl is installed on your machine, and all you need to do is you need to download it to some local folder. For example, in my case, I have got it downloaded in this folder. Okay, and if I go inside this and then the bin folder, so I will have this curl.exe. And for the applications, since we are using the Sauce Labs demo applications, we need to download those. So for that, we will go to the GitHub page of Sauce Labs, which is this one for the sample applications. And if I scroll down, these are the latest releases. So you can download the applications from here. I have already downloaded the applications and I have updated the curl command, which is this one. So this is the location where the application is downloaded. Okay, and we need to provide the path like this with the forward slashes. Okay, and once I execute this curl command, I will get this kind of response, which is the JSON object, and it will have this key app_URL, and this is the value for the application. Okay, and we are going to use this in the desired capabilities. So that way browser stack will know that it need to install the application from this particular location. So let us execute this command. So I will copy it, and then in the command prompt we need to navigate to the folder where the curl.exe is located, which is the bin folder, and then we can paste the command over here like this, and then we can execute it. So this is successful and we got the response. So let us copy it, and then we can paste it over here because we are going to require it later on. Okay, and for iOS, let us execute this command, and then let us copy the response and paste it over here. And since I have executed this command previously for the same application, in the response I am getting the same location. Okay, now our next step is to basically set up and run our test cases. And for that, this is the sample code that we can use for Android, and this one is for iOS. Okay, so let us click on Android, and then let us first copy the username and the access key. So I am going to copy this code, and then let us get back to the IDE, and then in the initialize driver method we are going to paste it like this. And now here we need to set few capabilities which are specific to browser stack. So we need to use the device capability, and we need to provide the device name that we are going to get shortly, then the OS underscore version, and then we need to provide the operating system version for the device, then the project, then build, then name, and then the app capability. So let me copy this code and paste it over here, and for desired capabilities let us import the class. Okay, and here for the app capability we need to provide the app underscore URL that we got from the API request that we made previously. So let me copy it. So this one is for Android application, so I will copy it. Okay, and for iOS also we need to copy it. So let us create a switch statement so that we can support the app URL for both Android and iOS. So I will type switch, and then this will be based on the device ID that we are going to get from the test.ng XML. So let us say device ID 1 is the Android device. So I am going to copy this command, and then I am going to paste it over here like this, and then the break statement, and then the second case that is for iOS, and we are going to copy the command like this, and then the break statement. And now let us copy the app URL for iOS application and then paste it over here, and let us have a default case as well. So here we will throw an exception and we will say invalid device ID. So just in case if we end up supplying invalid device ID, we should get an error. Okay, and now for the device and the operating system version, so let us get back to the browser stack documentation. And now here if I open this link, that is select device, and then if I click this link which gives me the list of supported devices on browser stack. So from here we can select our devices. Let us say we want to execute our automation on Google Pixel 3 and operating system is 10.0. So I'm going to copy this, and then in our code we already have the devices.json file. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste it over here for Android, and the OS version is 10.0, right? Let us copy the app URL also over here, which is this one. Okay, and then for iOS, so let us say we want to execute our automation on iPhone XS and the operating system version is 14. So let me copy this and paste it over here. like this, and let us copy the app URL as well, which is this one, like this. And now we need to parse this JSON. So for that, over here I will type JSON object and let us say device obj equal to new JSON object, and we already have a method to parse the JSON. So I'm going to type JSON parser, which is the class dot parse, and we need to provide the file name. So in this case the file name is devices.json. And then since our JSON has got two JSON objects, we need to pass the device ID so that we can retrieve the corresponding device details at runtime. Okay, so for that, over here I will type dot and then get JSON object, and then I will pass the device ID. So this JSON object will hold the device details, right? If you pass the device ID as 1, it will hold the details of the Android device, and then we can basically use this object to retrieve the values for the Android device, and all this will happen at runtime. So let me remove this hard-coded value, and then here I will type device obj dot get string, and then device is the key that will return me the device name. Similarly, for the operating system version, get string and OS underscore version, like this. And for the application path, we can change this also, like this. And now in this case, we don't need the switch statement because this will be handled at runtime based on the device ID that we are going to supply. So I'm going to remove this command from here and then paste it over here like this, and then I'm going to delete the switch statement. So actually we will need the switch statement but for different purpose. So let me bring it back. Okay, and then here, since the capabilities are now set, we need to create the new driver object, right, for Android and for iOS. So for that I will type apm driver, and then we will use the switch statement over here. So I will type driver equal to new Android driver, and then we need to pass the URL which we are yet to build and the capabilities, like this. Okay, and now for the URL, let us create a URL object like this equal to new URL. Okay, and then here we will need the URL from the browser stack, right? Because we are going to use the APM server instance that is hosted by browser stack. So let us get back to the documentation, and then here this is the URL that we need to use, and in this URL we are passing the username and the access key. So let us just copy this and then let us paste it over here like this. So we have already defined the variables for username and the access key, and these are the values. So this way browser stack can uniquely identify for which account they are getting the request, and then they can use that information to authorize the account in order to use the APM server. Okay, so with this, the driver object is created with the Android driver, and we can do the same for the iOS driver. So here I will type driver equal to new iOS driver, and then the URL and the capabilities, like this. So with this, we are done with the setup. So basically, using the capabilities and the URL provided by browser stack, we are able to create a new driver object for both Android and iOS. And now all we need to do is execute our test cases, and those will be executed on the browser stack cloud. We will see that in the next lecture.